Oh, hi. We just watched episode 17 of Gotham, Red Hood. So what did we learn? Well, Barbara keeps hanging around with two homeless girls. I smell a sitcom. Personally, I hope they solve mysteries. That'd be nice. A red hood is invaluable, I guess. You can't just go out to Walmart and buy a red pillowcase and cut 2 holes in it. Kill a guy over it? I guess so. And lastly, there is no I in team, but there is an I in fish.
Not anymore, though.
Oh, yeah. Well, there's still one.
I guess.
Yeah. Well, I guess the eyes have it. I'm Chad Perkins, and this is the Gotham After Show.
Very good, very good, very good.
It's fair. I like it. I like it a lot. I like it. I like it a lot.
Grandpa.
Welcome to the Gotham After Show, the show that films about 24 hours after Gotham on Fox airs to give you plenty of time to get in on the conversation, which you can do so by tweeting us at Gotham After Show or leaving us a comment on our YouTube page, youtube.com/21network. I am joined on the red couch of Red Hood gangs.
Okay.
Damn, we should have wore a mask.
I should have had done the whole show in a red hood.
We tried to find it, but it's very hard to find red material to cut holes in.
Yes.
Who knew? Apparently that's a thing. From the new Inside the Force video show, which you can see on this network channel, youtube.com/21network, David Cottingham at dcottingham21 on Twitter. There he is.
That's me.
That is him.
Thanks.
And from the returning Camera One series.
Okay.
Yeah, there we go. Which is also video. Cory Kuliak, Master Koo on Twitter. There he is. That's him. And the grandpa shirt.
Yes. This actually was my grandfather's.
Oh.
And I figured I'd sport it today in lieu of the episode. I thought it was a very, Wayne Manor heavy episode. So I figured I'd.
I like it. I like it.
It's nice. It's nice.
I like it a lot.
Yes. Red Hood was what we just watched, episode 17 of Gotham. Cory, initial thoughts?
Well, I liked it a lot.
Top 3?
I would say arguably favorite episode.
Hello.
And we talked a little bit last night. And I had to sleep on it a little bit because, and I'll get into a little later. But this episode, it just felt like it was one of those different put together episodes in the sense of I don't know if every segment, I wouldn't say every, but most of them felt like I was getting some juicy stuff out of it. Like all the Alfred and Bruce stuff was spot on. That's probably my favorite part of the whole thing. Besides, it was really cool. I was really looking forward to seeing the Red Hood gang, and I think they did that very well.
Yeah.
So I was excited. I was very excited to see this episode, and it did not disappoint.
D. Cottingham?
Yeah, I think the overall feel and tone of this episode was very different. I feel like the whole, sometimes we got a couple scenes that were very dark, and this whole episode felt just dark, in a different tone, more serious tone. You had a lot of the serious stuff with Bruce. You had just really high tension scenes with Fish. Penguin had some high tension scenes. I just think I think they stepped it up a little bit better on this episode. I really do. Now, overall, was it a great episode? I don't know. It was good, very good. I wouldn't say it was the best, but I think the tone of I want to see this tone of the show the entire way. I wish it was like that more often.
I think the pacing, the editing, the movement of the show was very on par. And how about that opening? Did you get Dark Knight flashbacks?
Oh, yeah.
Even the way that they shot the camera low with the hood hanging out of his satchel, very reminiscent of the Joker mask.
A little homage there.
And just going in at the bank, I got very Dark Knight vibes.
Absolutely.
Throughout all that. And then also the stuff with you're saying darker, like the Wayne Manor, all that was just like Dark Knight City.
Awesome.
What was your favorite moment, though? What was the most shocking? Because this one had a couple. One may pop out to some people. But what for you? What was your moment?
Honestly, I think the moment for me was when Alfred's buddy, what was his last name? Payne?
Reginald.
Reginald Payne.
Reginald Payne.
When he
Oh,
was antagonizing Bruce to hit him. And, at first he just tried to train him a little bit, but when he just started letting him punch him, I was like, wow. And then when he went to explain, it was really neat. We explained, sometimes you can't. Sometimes you take him out by the knees. You do what you can, and that's Batman. He does whatever he can. I was like, that was pretty awesome. That was pretty awesome.
100% agree. That was, I didn't want to divulge too much, but in the the quick thoughts of the show, but
Yeah, people have seen it.
well, I meant I didn't want to go,
Yeah.
but it's hard to think about one single good episode because each episode you could break in pieces. You could put all the Alfred and Bruce stuff and probably make one episode of that and one episode of Mooney stuff, and so it's hard to really say my favorite episode. This is my favorite one because of solely on the Bruce and Alfred stuff. That scene was awesome. I mean, that made it. That's the stuff I want to see. That's the stuff that I thought of before the show even came on. I was like, we're going to get to see stuff like that and
Right.
see his, and as he's, a kid training and then even leaving perhaps, but it was that like use everything around, like anything is a weapon, and he's like, grab anything, and and he's like, but you're so big, exactly, so, take him out. And I just, it was really cool because you started to also see Alfred's point of view, which is like, I don't want him necessarily, I'm teaching him at a certain, just little by little, because I don't want him to go out and actually do something, I mean, this is just kind of so it's foreshadowing. Oh, that's it. That's what I'm in this for. The foreshadowing, the pre-knowledge of knowing Batman and Alfred, their relationship, and knowing all that. This show kind of feeding that. That's what this episode did.
Let's stick on the Bruce and Alfred stuff while we're here.
Yeah.
One, hey, he owns some gym clothes. That was the
Yes.
first. Hey, gym clothes. And two, and this goes towards the end of the episode, did it stand out to you when he called the ambulance? He said, "My friend's been stabbed."
Yeah, it
He
did.
didn't say my butler. He didn't say, it's my friend. And I thought he and Jim, Bruce and Jim, that is, had a real good moment there in the hospital where he was crying and he hugged him, and it
Very good.
showed a very strong part on David for his acting, his performance, and everything.
And why he chose Gordon as the one cop to come back and trust.
Right?
That was it for me. That's my immediate thoughts.
Smart choice.
But also that scene with them sitting on the table having the wine.
Yeah.
I thought that was very powerful as well because, there is that lingering mystery of Alfred's past. We know he's an agent. We know
he's a war dog.
he's a war
Jeez,
guy. Yeah.
he's a bloodthirsty
But-
killer. Apparently.
But apparently, exactly.
Yeah, that's
apparently,
cool.
he's even more so than just some secret agent or some highly trained agent. Like, he is a killer.
Yeah.
So that's a different dynamic, a very different dynamic that they've introduced in the show. That I'm not going to say I'm 100% okay with if he ends up being the trainer of Batman.
The soul one.
Right, but
that's rough.
it's a great start, to a guy, to a kid that's learning how to deal with his fear, deal with revenge, and learn to not kill. So if he's a killer, I think that's actually the perfect contrast to put them together at this point. When he still, I believe, has to go and
yes.
experience the world and train and all that stuff.
Absolutely. That's the nerd in me. But they did an amazing job of that scene, of all that, creating that feeling of, okay, well, if they were to do that, he is the one to train them. And I like the show, and I want to keep watching, and if he doesn't go, it kind of for the first time made me think like, if he doesn't go, I'm okay. Like, and it's hard to do with me, but they did a great, like, when he looked at him, he was like, why are you lying to him? Like, that was, I was like, okay, I can see that, and I'll be okay with that. So that's a weird turn for me.
Right.
But he still has all this time before he's a proper age to leave.
Sure. That's
so
true.
it's not like he's going to be doing nothing up until that point.
Right.
I just real quick want to point out David's acting in that scene. It just, you got that sense of, look, he talks, the kid, I mean, he doesn't, his vocabulary and the way he carries himself isn't childlike at all. I mean, he's very mature for his age, but you saw the kind of the giddiness, the excitedness of like, oh, they're like going to tell some stories, and like just his look, like his, you know, I don't know how to describe it, but of just looking around like, oh, this is going to be fun, and that whole scene just was set up great too. I mean, you just felt like you were relaxing, and you were going to hear some cool stories about Alfred. Yeah. Like I was sitting there as Alfred, like because we don't know, like you said, we don't know his past, so we were almost like Bruce in the sense of, ooh, all right, excited, get to hear something about Alfred. So.
Well, you know, when you were saying about how, it'd be this cool kind of like juxtaposition of Alfred being a killer and Batman growing up to have the no killing code, of Bruce basically still teaching Alfred, like Alfred pointed out in this episode to Reginald, he said, I'm a better person for knowing Bruce. Right. He's like, Bruce is teaching Alfred as much as Alfred is teaching him, and that would be perfect to carry on through to the Batman days. Yep. Clever.
Amazing episode.
It's very
for
good.
That.
Yeah, very good.
Let's talk about the big eye in the room. The big eyeball on the floor. That was a shocking scene.
It was.
Did anyone, and just don't say you did see it coming, did anyone see that coming? And if you say you are, you're lying.
Yeah. I didn't see it coming, but I just thought, I was like, just kill her. What's the big deal? Like, I mean, and it was really nice for the guy, and this guy I recognize, he was from the movie Frighteners, and you guys probably have no idea what I'm talking about.
I know Frighteners.
He was in that as the, he was like, I can't remember his character, but he was real skittish. I think he was the FBI detective that came in, that was, at first you thought he was against all the spiritual stuff, but then he ended up being this, like, occultist and stuff, and I think that's, he looked a little older, but that looked like who it was, and he did an amazing job, just basically, because as soon as I thought it, he goes, we could just kill you and everybody in the basement. I mean,
I don't see why they didn't do that in the basement.
I
to
agree.
Send a message.
I totally agree.
Those are henchmen. They don't, they probably...
Well, I mean, when they came back down, they could have came back down and just unloaded.
True. That is true.
And that's what I thought was going to happen. I thought originally that when they came down, they were going to, like, just start picking off people, just start killing people around her.
Until she broke.
Yeah, I mean...
It makes you think, like, why are they keeping Fish around, actually? Like,
But then you kind of find out it was because he really liked her eyes.
Yeah.
So it was like, I'm going to get your eyes or you're going to be dead.
And you're going to make money.
Yeah.
I'm going to make money.
And then she put in this option 3 out there, which was, hey, you can't have this eye. And I'm going to wear a,
Fish Mooney,
like a leopard striped patch now or something, whatever she does. So apparently next week, though,
Governor Fish
she'll
Mooney.
meet Dalmacher.
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 You tell Dalmacher. It's pronounced Dumas. I just say that every time.
Yeah. But why? But again, even with doing that, why? Why not just wipe her out anyway and kill her? You know what I mean? And start over.
I mean, I agree.
It's in the script.
Yeah. Well, maybe it's like, well, she's got some moxie. She's got some tenacity. She's a natural-born leader. I mean, maybe they know they've got plans. We don't know. But yeah, the obvious thing is just kill her, problem solved. But
I think they know. I think they may. I mean, obviously, the only thing I can think of is I know who she is, and I think she will have some kind of leverage with them in Gotham. Like, ooh, we have Fish Mooney. That's who it is. Let's hand her over to Falcone. Or I don't. You know what I mean? That's the only thing I could think off the top of my head why she'd still be alive.
Yeah, and it was weird because I could have swore there's been promos out there for like the rest of the season where she's like glamored up again, but I guess maybe that's not a future scene.
I guess
probably not.
No.
Yeah.
A past scene.
Yeah,
she has a glass eye.
Yeah, she could get her. I mean,
fish eye.
Ooh.
Fish eye lens.
Yeah. Old one-eye Willie.
Look like a rap video. Well, let's talk about the Red Hood gang. We've already said that we thought it was done very well. I didn't see the hood changing that many times as it did, but it sure did. That first guy who, Cory, we talked last night, said that we really like that guy.
Just his whole like.
He could have been like another.
You know, the way he did a great job acting underneath the mask.
Right.
Could have been another Joker contender. Could have been a contender. A Joker contender.
Could have been a contender.
Yeah, there you go. It's better. But but then he gets killed. The other guy, Destro. Destro?
Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool name.
Cobra.
Cobra. Yo, Joe. Destro comes along. He takes it. Then the nervous, twitchy guy shoots him for it. He takes it. I don't think he ever really gets to wear it. We never see him wear it.
I think
he's the one that dies in it.
The
twitchy guy?
Yeah, you're
he's
right.
the one that dies at the end.
Yeah, you're right. Duh. I
Yeah.
thought it was the ghost of the first guy.
There's 3 guys left.
Yeah.
And he got smoked at the end by Jim.
Yeah.
And everybody.
Everybody.
The whole
8 or 9 slugs.
There would have been 2. Yeah, there would have been 2 left. 2 left after him. Yeah.
After him. Yeah, but they died too. They all got shot.
I think they all
They
get
did.
shot?
Yeah, they all got gunned down at the end.
Yeah.
That's why there was nobody
Smoked.
left, and that kid picked up the hood.
Yeah.
Now he, you can say, could be a Joker contender.
Could be, yeah.
After all that, we finally got one. You know, because I thought that I was actually excited to see the first guy die. To be honest with you, I was hoping. I mean, he was wearing the kind of the Clegg's Auto thing. Well, I mean, you know, kind of like how Joker does in the New 52. I was like, oh, cool.
Yeah.
His hair was flippy, and he just like he had this.
He had a
like,
laugh.
Yeah,
He
very
did.
Like
interesting
nothing
laugh.
can touch me. Ha! And he
I
laughed
thought it
really
was.
big.
I was completely. I loved
And plus,
it.
he told a joke. He was like, "This will be quicker than
He
me
did.
and the prom queen on
Yeah,
or whatever."
He was he was smooth.
It was
with
completely,
his-
yeah. It was
Yeah.
setting up like that.
Perfect, like little dun, 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 like
Yeah.
that. Like
Yes. 89 Batman.
Yeah, 89.
Yeah.
Throwback. I
Who do you
tweeted that last
trust?
night.
Money,
I
money,
said I'm
money.
having an 89 Batman. flashback
Exactly.
Right now.
He threw it out in the street,
Yeah.
and everybody. Yeah.
Hubba hubba hubba.
Yeah.
Who do you love?
Yeah.
Money, money, money. Who do you love?
Awesome. Yeah, that's exactly what I thought of. It's really
Yeah.
cool. I mean, I was
Yeah.
sad to see him go, but they did. Yeah,
I mean,
pretty
I
good.
think these references are very intentional. I think, personally.
Yeah, I would hope. I mean, unless they're just like, yeah, we meant to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Oh, we
yeah,
totally admit.
that they're pretty apparent, I think.
Well, unless you really know the Red Hood background, you wouldn't really, I don't think, make the connection between Joker and Red Hood. And all
And I
that
think there was
stuff.
enough there to keep the people that don't necessarily read the comics or know any of the back lore. So it was. I think it was an all around good episode for both factions. I guess you could say there's 2 different factions. There's
Sure.
the people who know of it at least, and then the people who are just like, this is a cool show. I think we'll pick it up.
Yeah.
And there was other Joker sightings. You know, we go this big long dry spell of Joker references, and then this one there was another comedian. And
There
this
was.
There was
a
another
struggling
really bad
comedian,
one. Yeah.
a really
Wow.
bad comedian.
Yeah.
The one in the first episode was actually pretty good.
Yeah, he didn't
This
look
guy-
like it. He didn't look anything like the Joker
No.
would, but
No, yeah, this one was
at least it was a comedian.
bad. What do we feel? Speaking of being in the club, what do we feel about Butch now seeming like he genuinely wants to help Oswald?
Well, I don't think he genuinely wants to. I think he's trained.
So we're
To-
getting the hand twitches, and
Yeah.
there's the mark on his forehead.
The V. It's a V.
Yeah, for Victor, I guess.
Yes.
Nice.
So that's the
Oh, he's brainwashed.
yeah, the
for
work
sure.
of
But at least he's not
Victor's basement.
robotic like he
No,
was in
no,
the first
no,
one. Like
no.
that really made me feel a lot better about that scene, because it made me think like, okay, well, he wasn't dancing because if you tell him, he's not like, raise your right hand, put it down like that. He just was saying dance, and he was
Bark like a dog.
yeah, and, and the way it made you think like he was doing it like out of to show. You know, I don't think it was.
He's on board.
Yes. I don't think it was like how I thought it was, which was God. Now
Well,
he's gonna
he
be like,
obviously
turn
was-
left.
Yeah.
Butch.
He obviously
wall.
was told to hate, trained to hate Fish Mooney, or be convinced that what he was doing for her was not the way to do things.
Yeah.
So
I think that's an interesting point, because I was when he said that, when he said, she got what she deserved.
Mm.
I didn't get that, because I saw it as, if you can remember, he did a lot of eye rolling. He did a lot of stuff where Fish was telling him, let's do things, let's do that, and he was just kind of like in the background. You remember like how he was?
I don't know. I didn't get that. I got that he was pretty
Somewhat.
loyal.
So, he
Well,
was.
there was those like hints of it, but then I think everything got squashed when he shot
Exactly.
his buddy in
That's
the car.
right.
I'm
Correct.
Like, wow,
That's
he
true.
is Fish loyal.
But I still don't know. I mean, obviously, yes, he is being
So
controlled.
you think he was just saying that because he meant it?
Well, I think there's a little bit of a little bit of resentment there. I think he felt like she brought it upon herself. He still loves her and he still sees her as a friend, but it's like, pfft, look, she did that to herself, and there's a little bit of kind of like, look, I'm in this situation, I can say this and appease Penguin, and also at the same time, I think he kind of was like,
well, when he said
it kind of just justified all those little moments to me.
Yeah.
At the beginning of the season.
when he said his line about, you know, here's to not being anyone's sidekick anymore.
Yeah.
I felt that was very genuine.
Yeah.
You know, he's wanting to be, I guess, on the same level, because Penguin now, that's his club. He's pretty much in effect been promoted. You know, so I think Butch is just wanting to kind of, you know, he doesn't want to be anyone's lackey anymore.
Yeah.
Which I don't think he should be, because he's awesome. He's a ninja.
Yeah. He definitely stepped it up for Penguin, whereas I felt like Fish, he was always on her beck and call. She was always barking at him.
Wasn't so much taking the initiative with
right.
Fish.
He took the initiative, and I think he was very, very heartfelt when he talked about, look, we built this place, and I want to see this place succeed no matter who has it.
That was a great scene. He's just a great actor. He's
very good.
I like his character a lot. Yeah, I mean, it helps. I mean, it's not like it's some random guy, but I think he's an assess for, especially for what Penguin's going through right now, which is weird to see. I think his struggling.
I also like
bar.
what Penguin said in that scene when he was talking about Fish. He said, "Perhaps it's not our friends, but our enemies that define us."
That was.
And I think that's very Batman Joker right there too. And
Well, that was
also,
everybody.
Yeah,
I mean,
everybody. I guess you could say that Batman to Penguin.
It's
pretty much-
escalation.
yeah.
Batman. Some people say Batman brought, instead of protecting the city,
new level of crime
Yes, he
to-
brought
yeah.
the people along. Like Penguin, you know, obviously it's Penguin now, but I think when Batman comes, he kind of takes the theatrics, exactly how Batman Begins was. Just
Yeah.
like the
Theatricalities.
theatricalities. Yes, I agree. So
We are initiated.
yeah,
Are we not?
all we
Bruce?
Bruce, yeah.
Yeah, the
I don't want to get. I don't wanna- I am the League of Shadows. Yeah. To fulfill Ra's al Ghul's destiny. Sorry, I had to do it. Had to do it.
It's good. We should bring that voice back more.
We should, yes.
I failed you. I failed you.
I failed you.
I failed you. Yeah.
Here we go.
So last
Another
week,
day on Gotham.
I said it looks like Barbara and the girls are going to be spending more time together and developing that relationship, and that came true. That was a cool scene for a couple different reasons, and we've already talked about it, so I'm just going to let you guys talk about it. Talk about the scene with Barbara and with Kat. Ivy's there too. I think Ivy's totally buying into it. She's like, "Yeah, you're right. These clothes are cool."
Yes.
Why not? Yeah.
But there was kind of two. There was two cool things about that scene. Discuss.
Take it.
I mean,
The parent
I
one.
didn't really find it that interesting. I think the only thing to me that came out of it that was good was Kat not agreeing with her and not letting her try to manipulate her at all. You know,
Finally told Barbara, "Hey, shut up."
that was
Yeah.
the perfect way to end that scene.
Look at yourself,
yeah.
Barbara.
I mean, it's the perfect way to end that scene because she's
Kat
been
being
nothing
Kat.
but there's just been nothing but a nuisance this entire season, this entire time with Gordon, and she doesn't make any good decisions. I mean, and I'm kind of left. Not that I'm arguing about it or worried about it anymore, but we were kind of left with, you know, Alan and Montoya just kind of left the show.
Yeah. That's weird.
Like, I don't know.
They finally came over to Gordon's side.
They're
and
busy.
And then they're
like,
gone. Yeah. And then the last time we saw Montoya was in the hotel room, right? With
Yeah.
with no real explanation on where she's going or why she. I don't know. So, but anyway, I'm not complaining about it because I don't know if they. I think it would almost be inappropriate for them to be in this right now because there's nothing really.
There's enough going on.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, I almost feel like, but I still kind of feel out with her. Like, I don't know what is there a purpose there to now create villains out of Poison Ivy and Catwoman? Is that where we're going with this? I don't think so.
And that's the flip side that would have been cool. Talk about that, Cory, because you were talking about how if that scene hadn't ended like it had.
Yeah, her face, like you were wanting to know how Kat was going to take that compliment because, like, because you know how she acts when people get too close to her, she pushes them away. But the whole thing of, because I kind of started to get that sense that she was pulling out dresses and showing her, and she kind of put her to the mirror and said, "You're a natural beauty. You can use that as just, it's just, you know, whatever, strong.
Your sexuality is
it's as strong as any,
stronger than any gun or knife.
Any weapon or something like that." And
Yeah.
I was just like, I completely forgot about that side of Catwoman,
Yeah.
you know, through watching this show, because Cameron does such a good job of playing that character in the sense of, you know, the sleek and the slyness of her. You know, she's not necessarily old enough to I guess, Selena Kyle, there's different renditions of her where she's, you know, she's a cat, I mean, she's literally a cat burglar, but she also is kind of like this, I don't want to say like streetwalk, you know what I mean? But she kind of lures men in through her sexuality. Now, I completely forgot about that side of her. And when she mentioned that, I was like, yes, that is awesome. And it's so interesting how Jim Gordon's future wife is teaching Selena Kyle, future Catwoman, that they all have trouble with, and her daughter fights.
Well, Poison Ivy is over there trying on clothes that are green.
Yeah, exactly. So I thought that was a really cool, and like I said, or like I was mentioning earlier, exactly why I picked this show up, why I knew I was going to watch it. Because those little foreshadowing, those innuendos, those things like, ooh, yeah. And, you know, so it was amazing. And when she, you know, it didn't really, when she said that, I kind of half expected it, but, you know, and walked away. But that was a nice little verbal slap. But that was so cool. But I think it's going to stick in her cat's mind. I think she's going to.
In her cat's eye.
She still got it, but she couldn't let her see that she got it.
Yeah, totally. Props to Cameron. Now, guys, it is time for Gotham's favorite game, Caption This. Gentlemen, the producers of the Gotham After Show have emailed us our pink slips. We're fired. No, just kidding. They have emailed us a picture, which we will now caption. Let's go ahead and play Caption This. Throw it up full screen. Okay. Who would like to go first? Gentlemen.
I went first last time. I'll go first again if you want.
I'll go.
Okay.
So, off of last episode,
Uh-huh.
Barbara's thinking, you know, that girl that Gordon was making out with, I might ask her out.
All right.
Girl was hot. Give it here, Jim. Give it here.
Good one.
Are you hitting it?
Man, I can't argue with you.
I can't even be mad.
That's interesting. Sister wives.
Traveling pants.
Yeah. Okay, so I don't know. Mine was, you know, Cameron's like, or Kat's like, Barbara, have you ever felt not so fresh
I was thinking that.
down there?
Oh, God.
And I don't even have to double. I mean, y'all should get what I'm talking about. Okay.
And Barbara just says, no.
Yeah. Like, all the time. Why? All right.
No. Get out of my apartment.
Leave. Go.
And then someone yells, "Hail to the V!"
Yeah.
I'll let you eat my cereal.
Oh,
I didn't
man.
take yours, did I?
No.
Okay. All right.
No. So mine is, on the next very special episode of Gotham, Barbara admits her addiction and Selena helps her with her feelings. On the next Gotham.
Gotham. And it's like cursive. Like,
Yeah.
it's a pink cursive.
Gotham.
Yeah.
A very special
Gotham.
Gotham.
Yeah, like just like a little underline. Yeah. Awesome. I love it.
Ah.
Lifetime.
So that's Caption This. We'll send that out there in the Twitterverse and follow at Gotham After Show, and you can tweet us your captions for kicks and giggles. So yeah, that was Caption This. Sorry, it just gets me.
That was.
Sometimes. It gets me.
It does. It's hard. It's hard to come back from that kind of comedy.
Oh.
It's hard to comprise yourself.
Yes. So let's talk about the big reveal in the Wayne boardroom there with Reginald. Very cool shot. The projector in the screen and everything, and it's
Court of Owls.
Reginald.
Sorry, I guess.
Sorry, what?
I got a little phlegm. Court of Owls. I got a little phlegm. I don't know if you could hear me.
Cormals?
Yes.
Quarter pals?
Kernels. Caramel kernels. They're delicious.
Caramel kernels.
What can I say?
Perhaps you're talking about Court of Owls, and if you don't read the comics, you might not know about that. But we did have an after the Gotham After Show episode just go to our playlist on youtube.com/21network and go to the Gotham After Show playlist. It's one of the earlier videos where we were asked, I believe, by Russell Berger.
Who is his birthday today?
Happy birthday, Russell.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday
Berger.
to King Darkheart.
Yeah.
At King Darkheart on Twitter. He asked, what about them Court of Owls, though? What about them Court of Owls, though?
Doe.
So if you want to know about Court of Owls, go and
Owls
watch
doe.
that episode. So you're thinking Court of
I
Owls
don't
are in...
I mean, it just gave me I feel like it literally was a page from the
Ripped
comic.
from the comics.
Yeah, I mean, it just seemed like the whole back and forth, like they were all just eerie. It was an eerie, like they weren't like they were in the board members when they were talking to Bruce. It was this whole different demeanor, and just kind of had that Court of Owl-esque feel.
Mm-hmm.
Got me excited. I was very excited about the scene.
Yeah, another big reveal that I don't think any of us saw coming. The fact that Reginald showed up at Wayne Manor was because he was hired by
Yes.
Wayne Industries
Right.
to find out what Bruce knows, because he obviously rattled some cages and spooked him from last week's episode when he talked to him, and he wants this big investigation and whatnot. So what do we think now that Alfred is in the hospital? Obviously, he's going to pull through. We're not going to kill.
Avi.
They're not going to kill Alfred, I don't think. But Reginald said now would be the time to go after the boy. Although he then says, "But he's a good boy. Don't do that." What? I shouldn't have told you that. Shouldn't have told you to go after the boy.
Should have divulged.
So, even though it seems like he doesn't really have anything, is what was surmised, do you think the Wayne board is going to go after Bruce?
Yes.
Join us next week. When,
Yes.
that's all the time. We gotta go.
Yeah,
No, I
that's
think I think this introduces a very good storyline because he had that one interaction with that board member a few episodes ago. I think it was during Viper.
Yes.
The episode Viper. And he kind of has gone off of the investigation because he's really can't go anywhere now because their only witness says that she doesn't see anything anymore, blah, blah, blah. But this introduced a new dynamic last week because the board is obviously corrupt
Yeah.
and highly corrupted,
Corrupt as hell.
Yeah.
which
But
starts down the road, which I'm in favor of linking back to who killed his parents. So that's where I think it's going, and I applaud them for that because I feel like they've let that kind of go to the wayside, and I felt like that was the story that should have been driving this whole season. And so hopefully they come back to that, and I think that they are. I think this is what this feels like, is that they're bringing that back, and they're finding out that maybe it stemmed from the board.
You know what I love about it is we finally have this evil force that no one else is privy to, like just the audience. Like we see, we see in other DC shows out there where the audience is in on something that the other characters aren't.
Right.
So we finally have this. Okay, the Wayne board is corrupt.
like they're the main bad guy.
And Bruce is in trouble. And Alfred's already been stabbed because of it. And obviously that has something to do with who killed his parents. And so, yeah, now things just got interesting. That's what I love about it.
It'd be really cool to see if there was a scene with Falcone that he was even under,
He's a silent board member.
or just he's under their thumb somehow, like he owes them. Because I still
He
don't
was
know.
under the table.
Yeah. I got something to say. Okay, I'll just say later.
That's the
I'll
thing.
save it for next time.
But
I'll put it on the list.
That is the thing, though, is you kind of maybe get this sense this whole time that Falcone and Mooney are the ones that run Gotham. The board may be running them.
Yeah.
It's like
That would be so cool.
They're not
That would make
doing-
everything
they-
so much better.
yeah, Falcone doesn't do anything without. You remember the very first episode,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Didn't he say
What happened?
Me.
No, I do remember.
He told Gordon.
Seriously, what?
No, seriously, what happened?
He told Gordon, your father and I had an understanding, and then there was a whole thing with the Waynes had understood.
There was a balance.
There was something. Yeah, there was something.
Balance in the Force.
Yeah, there was something there. I don't know. You know, maybe that's what's coming. But
Maybe it wasn't necessarily. Yeah, maybe it wasn't necessarily them. Maybe it wasn't them, and it was the board that had the understanding, and they started to stick up for us, whatever, and that's why they were offed.
Or they found out.
Yeah, exactly. Or they found out what the
what
board
was
was doing behind the
Jim's father?
He was a
judge? Was he a judge or a cop? Or
he was
think
he wasn't a cop. He was more of a
DA. He wasn't a DA, or was he?
I think he was the DA.
Was he?
Or something.
Oh, he maybe the attorney.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can't remember, but remember Falcone was
It
like,
hasn't been mentioned in a
we
while.
had,
Yeah.
because him and his father had an understanding, and that's who was
Oh, yeah.
hoping he would have the understanding with Jim. But then later on there was that thing where the Waynes, they were that balance, like you said. There were that now everything's going to be
I think it had something to
off.
do with the Arkham Project, and the Waynes found out about the true intent of Arkham, which seems to be this linchpin of everything, and that's why they got a hit put on them. Now, let me ask you this: either one of you, the killer, we know, Shiny Shoes, could be
Shiny Shoes.
Yeah, old Shiny Shoes did it. Could that be an actual board member? Or did they just hire someone who happened to have a hitman with shiny shoes?
Wouldn't it be cool if one scene it panned down to someone's shoes like it was shiny?
They're shiny!
Yeah.
But wait, so it says and
Yeah,
is
so
and
is
is and is and
everybody
is and
else.
is.
Doesn't the description kind of fit Payne a little bit?
Yeah, I don't think the eyes...
Yeah,
I
I
had
had to
fatter
see it
face.
again.
Yeah, he
I had to
did.
see it
I mean,
again.
he did look like what's his face, Pepper, whatever Ivy's
Yeah.
dad,
Oh,
his
yeah.
real last name, whatever that was.
Which he looks like him.
Yeah,
doesn't
it
he?
did. They had the same.
He didn't have the eyes, though, I don't think. But he, like the,
They had the same
stocky
build,
face.
yeah.
More like
He didn't have a neck.
more like Destro, who got killed in this episode.
Exactly.
He kind of like that build,
Yeah.
it seemed like. But
Taller, bigger.
taller, yeah. Like that fat, round face.
Yeah, that big.
The
fat
fat,
round
round
face.
face. Those
Yeah, I have to go see that again. I haven't
hate
seen
that
it.
guy so much. Makes me want to talk through my teeth.
Knock 'em out.
So, do we think it was actually someone on the board?
I don't know.
I don't think it was someone
I don't
on
thi-
the
I
board.
don't think we've met him yet. I think there's somebody important.
Harvey needs a Danish.
Yes.
Yeah.
He does need a Danish.
Get
This is
him a
actually
Danish.
kind of the return of the Bullockisms.
A little
in
bit
the
of
show.
both
He
of
was
them
like,
going on.
I don't know why they pick a moment when they're going in a potential crime scene with people with guns, but he's like, so Jim, give me the double
Yeah.
D's, give me the dirty
Yeah.
dirty
That was
details.
funny, yeah.
Yeah.
And then he drinks that soda and eats that sandwich.
It
Like,
just shows
forensics will just.
Is he?
Yeah.
Has he not hooked up with the phobia chick from the?
Who knows?
I figured they would have like some
Yeah, he's
scenes
hitting- he's
together
hitting
with that. Okay, yeah.
Totes my goats.
Totes.
He's hitting that.
But I will
What are
say,
the dirty deets on that?
Yeah,
Bullock.
the
Yeah.
double D's on that.
I will say, Jim did some pretty fantastic police work.
He did.
Whereas normally he was like, I just feel like, but I think he did,
Yeah.
I think he's your father.
Yeah, well, he saw the video with the coat. It took me a second for that too, because at first when he said, "There you are, Red Hood," I was like, "How do you?" I like
How
wrote
do
it down
you
to mention
know?
like, "How do you know it's Red Hood?"
Yeah.
But then he said the coat, mentioned the coat later on, so I was like, okay, so he saw the footage with the coat, pieced that together. They went and checked that place out, and I thought it was in my head I was like, why don't they just don't catch him,
Yeah.
let him go, and they did that. I was like, oh great, and I thought it was that was good. That was good solid place work, Jump. Good job, Jump. Jump.
Yes.
I sound like Roger Predactor from.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I don't know why. It just popped in my head.
We had a couple questions via the tweet box here.
Yeah.
Good.
From at Silver Mooney.
Oh yes. Silver Moon.
Intense. Curious what you guys think about the repeated Joker hints. Do you think that's them saying Jerome isn't him? Personally, I think it's them saying it could be Jerome, it could be a slew of other people, and I don't think they're, hopefully, ever going to say, hey, this is it. What do you guys think? Agree?
I think they did it. I had my doubts at the beginning because you were solid like Jerome's not him. I was like, Jerome could be him. But this episode gave us, what, 2? If
Yeah.
not one for every Hood almost, but not really. I mean, because really the first guy and the kid, could grow up to look like him, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think that I'm with Dave 100%. They're not gonna. That's Jerome's on him. It could be him, but I'm just glad they gave us more options. That way we're not sitting there going, is it Jerome? Is it still Jerome?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, that's true. I'm glad they did that.
Yeah, I don't think it's. I still believe that Jerome is not the Joker, but I still feel like, for some reason, I feel like we haven't seen the last of him for some reason.
I would agree with that.
I do not feel like we've seen the last of him for some reason.
I would be surprised just because if you'd asked me, like I think before the episode you asked us, we were like, well, we'll see the origin and he'll leave. But just his acting capability, his presence, I want to see him again.
Yeah,
totally.
So I would be.
And they did go at great lengths to really try to convince you that it is him. And with the laugh, because I watched it again. I watched it a couple times after we recorded it, and man, I mean, I was like, give this kid an Emmy for just that scene.
Yeah.
You know, this.
Yeah.
I agree.
The way he looks, and I, because I really wanted to pay attention to what you were talking about with his voice fluctuation.
Dropping down to that certain note.
And I'm telling you what, there's almost every piece of Joker in him.
Yeah.
Jack, Mark Hamill.
Yeah. Exactly.
I mean, he took a little bit of everybody, and
I love when he just would slap
what
the
do you know
desk
about that?
Yeah.
You know, he was.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, I agree that. I want to see that kid again. Yeah, he was awesome.
And he wasn't some just nobody actor. I mean, he was been in Shameless, which is a great. I mean,
I'm sure he's just gonna blow up now after that. From @DiddleYaDoDat on Twitter.
Diddle-de-do-dat-do.
She asks, "Do you think season 1 finale might be Wayne Company versus Bruce?" And this is from Ash. DiddleYaDoDat.
I feel like we're gonna see that. We're already starting to see that.
Do you think season 1 finale might be Wayne Company versus Bruce?
I think it's going to be Wayne Company versus Gordon.
Well, yeah, I think we're going to see some kind of resolution at the end of the season. I don't think that's going to go. It would be nice. It has a presence to be a whole season type thing, but I think that's going to come to an end at the end of the season. I don't think we're going to see anything beyond season 1.
Very good.
I mean, obviously, if that is the case, if they've been the driving force behind this whole season, all the bad thing that's happened, I think it's going to resolve itself, and then hopefully get a big tease on what the whole. I want this just really big, awesome bad guy for season 2. You know what I mean? I want something.
Someone who lasts more than 2 episodes?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, I hear that. Well, great. Overall, I thought it was an awesome episode. I thought this was an awesome episode right here. Thank you to D Cottingham21 on Twitter. He's David Cottingham. Thank you to @KooMasterKoo on Twitter. He is Cory Cooley. I am @ChadPerkins21 on Twitter. We are the Gotham After Show, and you guys can stay frosty.